everybody, and welcome to Candid Conversations. I am Aisha isReal, your down to earth life coach, and we're going to have a very exciting evening tonight. So, I do have to start off by saying we did have Alisha scheduled tonight to be our guest co host, but she will not be able to join us. So, we'll say hi to Alicia. She's taking care of just some family things. So, and I understand that. Trying to think. Okay. So we didn't have a show last week. There wasn't a show scheduled, but the reason that we didn't schedule a show is because, as I've been talking about all season long, my sorority has turned 100, and last weekend was our centennial celebration weekend, and I knew that I was not going to have the energy to do the show on Monday, which proved to be true. So it took me a few days to recover, but we had a wonderful time. And hopefully, you have time to look at our social media because we are all over everything right now. You should be seeing blue and gold everywhere. I'm not lying. But anyway, okay, so tonight we have our boss chick who is very special to us. She is one of our own. She is Mrs. LaTanya Beasley-Carter, and I am so excited to interview her this evening as she is a dynamic boss chick with a very encouraging story. And then we have our spotlight on beauty. So Miss Lika the Diva is back. And then, of course, we round out the end of the show with girl talk. And there are some very interesting topics this week that we probably will touch on. So, if you are ready, I am too. And up next is our boss chick, LaTanya Beasley-Carter. Hi there.
Hey,
Welcome to Candid Conversations.
thank you
As
for having thank you for having me in this way today.
Yes, I am so excited. Oh, that's my alarm. Okay. So I am going to interview you and I'm going to try and treat this interview like I do all of my boss chick interviews and not, be too personal. But so if you would like,
Okay.
please introduce yourself to the audience, let them know your title and what you do.
Okay. So I am LaTanya Beasley-Carter. I am the CEO, president, creative director, everything for Be Easily Created, which is a custom apparel company. So basically, what I do is I design custom apparel for a lot of small businesses, for anything from sororities to birthday parties to
Hmm.
grand openings, like you name, and a lot of small businesses. And what a lot of people don't know is I am also like the silent person who creates a lot of the brands that other people sell as well.
Yes. And so, of course, that's how you and I met, right? Because
Yes.
Um, I don't remember the specifics. I know that you had done t-shirts for my cousin, and you probably had done
Mm-hmm.
t-shirts for other people, but my cousin is really good at posting like the t-shirt was made by this person and yada yada yada. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me see. So um I don't remember what the first t-shirt was. Was it my wedding or was it before
For
that?
your wedding. Yeah.
Okay.
The I can't keep calm. I'm
Yeah.
getting married.
Okay, yeah. So that was almost 5 years ago. So of course,
Yeah.
can't keep being as popular as it was back then. But yeah, so yeah, you have been my go-to custom T-shirt lady ever since. You do a
Yeah.
really But so how did you get into designing t-shirts? And I know you do more than t-shirts.
Actually,
Yeah.
I do more than t-shirts. So actually, so a few years ago, I this was probably about 6 or 7 years ago. My husband was opening a new office, and he had like a lounge area for the employees,
Okay.
and he wanted like all of these sayings on the wall. So you know how you go in different homes, you may see different sayings on the wall. So I
Right.
started pricing out the stuff, and I'm like, you know what? This is expensive. And I started researching. So I was like, you know what? If you buy this machine, I can put all of the stuff on the wall for you.
Okay.
So I like got him to buy the machine. I never put the items on the wall. So the machine kind of like sat in a box for
No.
months.
Okay.
And then I started YouTubing different things that you can do with the Cricut machine. And I was like, wait a minute, you can make t-shirts? And so I purchased the heat press. I'll say I purchased the heat press in maybe like January.
Okay.
And it collected dust for a couple of months, and then I finally opened it to make a shirt for a friend of mine. Her daughter was going on prom, and she
Okay.
wanted shirts for prom, and I was like, yeah, I could do it. I didn't know what I was doing. so, so she wanted t-shirts, and then she also wanted like champagne glasses with her
Oh,
daughter's initials.
okay.
So I actually like dusted off everything. I had the TV turned toward me. I'm like watching YouTube and trying to design things, and everything came out nice. And I posted that on Facebook at the time,
Okay.
and it's just like from that point, every it just took off from there. And when I made those shirts, I was working, and the my speed was just definitely not there. So I remember staying up to about 4 or 5 o'clock that morning, and I had to go to work the next morning. And that
Oh,
was in 2000. That was actually in 2016.
okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so it just took off from there, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I perfected my craft over time, but yeah, that was my first big order. I had like five t-shirts, and I believe 30 champagne glasses.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the order that kind of like made me like take
Okay.
off with the hobby. It was still a hobby at the time.
Okay. And so how long before you became a 100% self-employed from that very first t-shirt order?
I did not come 100% self-employed until 2019. And
Oh,
so in 2019, it was a very special year for me.
okay.
2019, I turned 40. Um, I turned 40 May 18th. I got married May 25th. And then
A lot going on.
August of 2019, it's like I kind of aligned myself. I knew that I would be transitioning out of like a corporate role.
Okay.
um I didn't have the courage to do it myself, and I also didn't do a whole lot to make sure I stayed. So
Okay. I know what you mean.
so basically, yeah, August 2019, about what, 6 days after my 15-year anniversary, I was self-employed,
Gotcha.
involuntarily, but it's been
Okay.
it's been
Okay.
cool.
Hey, whatever way it has to happen, right? Sometimes we don't listen to God saying, step out on faith, and God's like, look, come on now, you know, hit us over the head.
Exactly.
You got to go. So that's
Exactly.
good. And so it's taken off. And what was my question going to be? So I know that because I've seen things on your social media where you've created like some type of saying on your shirt. And then I've also seen where people have requested things. what kind of, is there a balance? Like, is it half and half, or do you majorly do customized? Like, how does it work?
So honestly, I have a lot of items. I have a few items for sale on my website. So those items do sell, but customization is probably about 90% of my business. So it's like I tried to get out of it, but it's like 90% of my business. I just came back from Atlanta.
Mhm.
As soon as I got off the plane, I got 2 phone calls about, customized orders. So a lot of people who are in the t-shirt business, they don't like to do customization.
Mm.
But for me, it helps me to continue to be creative. And I just can't get away from it. So yeah, that's just what I do. It's 90% of the business.
But you come up with some really good ones. Like when I see them, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so, some certain people have it, and certain people don't. Like
Yeah.
I don't know that I could do that part of it. Um, okay, well that's very interesting. I'm trying to think. So, do you want to say what you did in corporate or no? Just hush hush.
No, yeah, I worked 15 years in the natural gas industry. I moved all the way up through the ranks. I started out in the call center taking calls. From there, I worked in billing. From the billing department, I worked in the operations of like moving calls around. From there, I was a supervisor, and I would say I was a team lead in the call center.
Okay.
In between that, of course, I trained. I did a lot there. And I also helped a lot of people transition out of the role of being like in that entry level position. So I probably had one of the highest turnover rates in a good way,
Hmm.
because I was very big on helping my team elevate. And that was whether not they were inside of the company. If they felt stagnant, then hey, move around. If you find something else that's better, I was big on encouraging a lot of people to, move around and do what works for them.
Okay. Cool. Very exciting. So, what else? Trying to do this as an interview as though I don't really know the answers. But okay, so you have much bigger things going on than just your t-shirts. So can you talk
Hmm.
about how since okay, so we've already talked about since you started and then you became
Hmm.
self-employed. Since you've become self-employed, how have you expanded? Because that's part of your business and your growth and your success is that you didn't just stay there. So how have you expanded? How have you grown?
Oh man, so basically the ways that I've grown, number one is just like being out and on faith. Like I didn't have to step out on faith. I stayed out on faith basically. So that's like real key, and that's big for me, because it's a difference. I've worked since I was 16 years old, and this is my first time just really having the freedom to create the life that I want to live. Like I never like I've imagined it, but it's just like now I can get up and I make my schedule, I do what I want. So from there, basically, what I've done is I was working from home. I had a little comfortable workspace that I had created because I felt like when I go downstairs in the basement, I felt like I really wanted to go somewhere. So I made like a comfortable office for me, which is now like my daughter's space because I've outgrown that space. And so last year, my husband and I purchased the property. What we did with that property was it was an old doctor's office. So there were different rooms, of course, for the doctors or the dentist to see the patients. And basically, we purchased that property. We used those different offices, doctors patient rooms. We use those
Yeah.
different rooms for spaces for other small businesses. And so not only did I have the opportunity to move my business into the building, but I'm also able to have a space for other small businesses as well. And so right now, we are fully occupied, like 100% occupied. We don't have any other spaces available. Not yet. We will have other spaces available, not because anyone is moving, but because we will be expanding because there is other
Space.
it's a multi-unit building, right? So there's other space that we just have to rehab. And so of course that's income generating as well. And
Yes.
then I get to, the good thing about being in that space is I get to create things for the other tenants in the property. I get to support those small businesses as well. So it's been real good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for you, especially since I've been able to see you grow. It's been exciting for me, especially because I remember in August of 2019. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to see you grow, and just you have such a wonderful spirit about it. You're so humble, and just I don't know. I love seeing you grow, and I love seeing you prosper. So of
Thank you.
course, it's coming to the end of our segment, and so my big question, as always, is in your eyes, what makes you a boss chick?
In my eyes, what makes me a boss chick is number one, doing things with ease that other people find challenging. Number two, having the faith to stay, just having the faith to stay out on faith, to
Mm,
live out my dreams, being in alignment to receive everything that God has in store for me.
yes,
And then honestly, just I'm all about personal growth. And even if I felt like I rocked in one area before, honestly, like I am open to grow in whatever area I need to grow. If I was a good on this end and now I see that there's room for improvement, I am open to that improvement. And so then another thing that makes me a boss chick is just honestly just having that sauce. Like people do what I do.
but you have that it factor.
Yeah, I just it's just something about what I do that's just different than what other people do. And I just, I vibe with my customers really good. I let them know, I keep them updated, and that's where that customer service background comes from. And so it's other things, but I'll just sum it up as that.
Well, would you like to leave any
Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened, but
I'm not sure.
people who are watching you and want to know how you do what you do or what they can do to become a boss chick.
You know what? I think becoming a boss chick, you have to be self-aware, right? And you have to be open for constructive feedback from
Mhm.
people who genuinely know and love you. And
Yeah,
so make sure you have the right company and the right people around you. Honestly, because not having the right people around you, they'll lead you in the wrong direction. All of my friends are like boss chicks, and I learn from them, I grow from them. And then as for me, like people who do what I do, I am working on basically teaching other people to do what I do. So just stay in tune, follow me. I just want to make sure, I don't want to make sure it's perfect because nothing will be perfect, but I do want to make sure that what I put out there is good enough so that the people that need to learn it, they'll receive what they need to receive. I don't want to have to um, go in and say, hey, this is my first time and this is new. I just want to be able
right.
to at least give them what they need to excel at what it is that I'm teaching them. So
Okay.
just
I love
follow me. And honestly, stay in tune, like pray, meditate, and put the right things in your just get in the right circles, and God will
Absolutely.
work everything else out.
I totally agree with you. And so how can people find you? How can they reach
You
out?
can find me on, I have like 4 pages, right? So I have personal pages on social media. LaTanya Beasley-Carter on Instagram and Facebook, and then Be Easily Created, which is really like my maiden name Beasley, but it's Beasley Created. And that's on Instagram and Facebook as well. So LaTanya Beasley-Carter, you'll get a little bit of business and personal, and then uh, Be Easily Created, you're going to get all business.
All business. All right. So if you would like to get some customized or custom created anything and everything, because I saw you doing phone cases now. So
Yeah.
reach out to LaTanya Beasley-Carter or Be Easily Created for some very special items. And thank you for joining us. And I know you're going to join us for Girl Talk, so I don't really
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
ask.
yeah. Oh, wait. I do have a website. I'm sorry. This is the last thing. I do have a website for anyone requesting customized items. I would really I have everything set up for you to request those items directly through the website. That's www.beasleycreated.com. I am a creative. That means that I'm all over the place sometimes. I have the website in place to make sure that your order gets handled in the proper way. I don't want to have to search through 4 pages to find out what you emailed, what you sent me through my DM. So just go to the website and I'll be more than happy to answer questions through my DMs, but website for official orders. And yes, I will be here for Girl Talk.
All right. Thank you. Well, next up is Miss Lika the Diva with the spotlight on beauty.
Hello, beauties and gents. It's your girl, Ms. Lika the Diva, your favorite skincare and beauty consultant. So, today on the Spotlight on Beauty, I want to talk about winterizing your skincare routine. So, let's talk about it. So, now, okay, I'm in Los Angeles, so y'all might laugh. Those of you who are in Chicago, you might laugh at what I'm about to say, but the weather is getting cooler, colder. Let's be real. It's getting cold in LA for LA, but I know it is colder in other places. Okay, don't don't judge me. But have you noticed that your skin may feel differently in the winter months than it does in the summer months, or maybe it behaves differently when you're using the same products, let's say cleansers and moisturizers? If you are noticing that, you may need to winterize your skincare routine. So let's talk a little bit about why that is. So when the humidity in the air changes, or now we're using heaters a lot more indoors, so exposure to those indoor heaters, winds, all of these things can make your skin drier than any other time of the year. And it can make your skin look a little duller. Okay. So, what I would suggest is to consider changing either your cleanser, your moisturizer, or in some cases, both. We'll talk a little bit about how you might figure that out. So I'll start with my own skin. I have combination to oily skin. And so um, typically I use a gel-based cleanser to wash my face during most times of the year. However, when it starts to get towards the winter months and it gets a little colder, it actually my gel-based cleanser actually makes my skin feel a little dry a few minutes after I've rinsed all the cleanser off. So in the winter months, what I do is I switch to a foaming cleanser or a creamy cleanser rather than the gel based. And then depending on, sometimes I phase my cleanser out to the new cleanser, and then I'll phase my moisturizer out to a new moisturizer if I'm starting to feel still more dry, even after I've switched out my cleanser. But typically, my moisturizer remains the same and my cleanser just gets switched to a creamy cleanser. However, if you have normal to dry skin and your skin feels especially dry during the winter months, you may want to consider not necessarily swapping out your cleanser, but swapping out your moisturizer to either a more dense or thicker moisturizer, or adding additional moisturizer. So keeping the one you normally use and then just adding another one to give that extra boost of moisturization. Another option is to add a facial oil to your rotation. So adding an oil, particularly for dry skin, because the oils will help seal the moisture into your skin. And then the moisturizer that you regularly use will help to add to that. If you find that your skin looks dull, regardless of your skin type, you may perhaps want to try exfoliating a little more often. So oftentimes we're exfoliating maybe once or twice a week. I wouldn't exfoliate more than 3 times a week, but it might just be you need to add one more exfoliation because your skin is so dry. But you don't want to overdo it, because if you exfoliate too much, then you may cause other troubles with your skin, okay? All right, one more thing. Don't forget your lips. This is red lip season, ladies. We know we want a flawless red lip. I do not have a red lip on today, but we want a flawless red lip. And many of us have already seen the damage that dry lips can do. And then to put a bold red lip on top of that and your lips are all crusty, ew. Don't do it, sis. Don't do it. So what you want to do is you want to exfoliate the dead skin off of your lips. Take it away and then moisturize your lips and then put your red lip on. Okay. So there's lots of lip exfoliators on the market. And I definitely have some suggestions of a few if you are interested. Lastly, if you are interested in any kind of consultation about any of the things that I've discussed today, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Makeup by Ms. Lika and schedule a consultation with me. And I look forward to meeting you. I do virtual consultations. Like I said, I am in Los Angeles, so I can do virtual consultations, or we can do one in person if you are in my area. And that's the spotlight on beauty. Now to girl talk.
First and foremost, you need to have your wine.
Oh yes, it's time for girl talk with Dawn B, LaTanya, and yours truly, your laid back, down to earth life coach. All right, ladies, it's time to decide. Would you like a question, a scenario, or a personal truth? Think about it, but whatever you choose, just don't forget the wine. All right, now it's time to get this conversation started.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good evening.
How is everybody doing today?
Good.
Great.
Are you guys excited about the holiday coming up?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
No?
no. Why not?
Yes and no. You know what? The bad food. The food is so good, but it's bad. Just not looking forward to eating all the bad food and the good bad desserts.
Right. About that before. I'm trying to remember but it was Christmas last time. But you said it was something that somebody doesn't cook right. Is it the dressing, or it was something you said, and I was like, wow, I never even experienced that.
Oh, light skin dressing.
Oh, like
dressing cannot be light skin. No.
Well, look, let me introduce you guys, even though your name is on the screen. So everybody, thank you for Joining us for Girl Talk, this is our relationship discussion panel. So I am Aisha isReal. Next to me on the screen is LaTanya. Below LaTanya is Miss Lika the Diva, our skincare and beauty consultant. And next to Miss Lika the Diva is Dawn B. Okay, most of us are in Chicago. Miss Lika, as she made mention of, is in a warmer place. Kind of, not really warmer. I know it's warmer than here. It's got to be.
I mean, it maybe today, but we have definitely been in the 40s, and it is not okay. We don't know what to do with 40 degree anything.
It's 40 here.
It's 40 here. Yeah, today is warm.
I would take 40 over Friday's weather.
Or this past weekend, it was cold. It was like 28 when I went outside one of those days. I don't know, but okay.
I wouldn't know.
Right. So we have a lot of questions, a lot of personal truths, and a few scenarios. But before we get started with that, there's something just heavy on my heart, and I was not aware of it until Saturday. So on Saturday, my husband brought to my attention a funeral that was taking place regarding a woman that was killed in Cabo. And I just have been overwhelmed with, like, just flooded with so much social media. And I'm the type of person where I'm always like, okay, I see that, but I want to get to, like, where's the real story? And so I had trouble actually finding the real story because there's so much commentary on social media. And I did not personally see the news coverage. But what I did see was that a lady was traveling with her friends, so-called friends. And the day that she arrived, she got into something. And then her parents were told she died of alcohol poisoning. And then there's just been mixed things. So I kind of wanted to really just send my thoughts and prayers to that family and her friends. But I really feel like it's a problem with the fact that they were able to leave Mexico without any type of questioning.
Said it was no foul play.
Who said it was no foul play?
Mexico said it was alcohol poisoning.
Until they got the autopsy report.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when everything was like, nobody has the real story. I don't know the real story. It's coming though. It's coming.
Right, because I did see the video. Like, I don't know how my husband finds these things, because I kept seeing like all this blurred out stuff, and he showed me like the video, and I was like, whoa, like that was really insane. Did you guys see it?
Yeah. I finally watched it.
I saw a little bit of it, but that type of stuff, I just couldn't. I didn't want to get into it too much. I heard about it. It's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting.
I saw the video. I saw her video, the one that came off of her phone.
I didn't see that.
Oh, I didn't know there was one from her phone.
She was like, what's up, y'all? Where y'all at? She was like, it don't take that long to get naked. Where y'all hoes at? And she went in, she was looking for him. And then she got to the room, and all of them were in the bedroom. And one of them was like, it looked like they were plotting. That was the whole thing. And one of them was like, nobody had on a bathing suit. Nobody was naked except for her, apparently.
Oh, wow.
And the lady, one of the girls was like, I'm not putting on that suit. It's mediocre. She was waiting on her check baggages from the bellhop or somebody.
Oh, wow.
It was bizarre.
Okay.
But she was like laughing on the video, cracking jokes.
Right.
Oh, she couldn't even find them, and they were all in one room.
Yeah, that already sounds suspicious.
And she was laughing, but they was like this. Like nobody was happy.
Oh, wow.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, that's
a lot of weird things.
And they beat her, right?
Like, I just
I saw that video of the fight.
And those who weren't beating her recorded
filming.
That's how there's film.
Yeah. It's a person filming, a person filming. And it was like, at least fight back. At least
Right.
stop the fight. Okay, I can't. It's gonna make me emotional because
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
Fighting back.
I get too involved in stuff, and
Yeah.
honestly, like I will go down the rabbit hole until I am at the core. Like
Until
I
I'm
was
on the
like,
scene
I
of the
just
crime.
don't need. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. I mean, it made me very angry. And I mean, I don't know her, don't know her friends, don't know anything about these people, but like, I really feel like we need answers. Like, that just doesn't sit well with
And you
me
can
at
hear
all.
her on the tape though. They said, at least fight back. She said no. You
I
can
wonder
hear
why
her.
she didn't know.
Because everybody is not a fighter, and she might have thought it was her friend, and you know what? You just never know. Everyone talks about what they'll do in a situation until they're actually in a situation. You don't know how God will turn things around in your mind, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we all think we know what we'll do in a situation until we're actually in that situation, and you just never know. I just, at the end of the day, I just really, I know that they'll get justice because um the attention that this story has gotten, and
Yeah.
the FBI here is working with the Mexican FBI or whatever they are,
Yeah.
and all they is going to jail. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just saw one of those now. Whichever
did
person.
you?
What did it? Oh dang, it disappeared. I was reading it on the shade room.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's shady. It's disrespectful. Because the bestie was talking to the parents, and she said, we talked to him up until the day they got the autopsy, and we haven't heard from him since.
Ooh.
That's what
Yeah,
she
because he was coming to the house to console the family
Yeah, she said they
until
Dirty
the real
bastard.
world came out. Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
Yep,
Have
I
you?
just read
Oh,
that.
Yeah, you were
well,
there. You
Kyrie. On a
act-
positive note, Kyrie Irving did donate 65,000 to her family because
yes.
from what I heard, they were having an issue with getting the body from Mexico
Mhm.
back to the States. So that was a generous donation. I'm sure the family could use it for whatever they need it for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whatever makes them happy in this moment, like whatever they do with the money, if they once they bury her, whatever they have left, if they want to go back to Mexico for vacation, whatever, that's their business. That's their loss, and you cannot tell people how to grieve.
Agreed. Totally agree. Okay. So now we can get started.
Yeah. Because this is about to turn into one, son. Like, no, I don't want to have this conversation.
We're supposed to get on the plane ourselves and go figure this out. Okay, so we'll start with LaTanya. Oh, let me tell everybody how this works, right? Okay, so every lady on the panel gets an opportunity to choose a question, a scenario, or a personal truth. At the time that they choose, they get an uninterrupted period of time to answer the question, and then once they're done, the rest of us will chime in and add our comments. All right. So, are you ready, LaTanya?
I am.
Would you like a question, a scenario, or a personal truth?
I never do a personal truth. I'll do a personal truth.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite Beyonce song? Not too tough.
I love Die With You. That was my wedding song, and it's like it's a song that never really got totally released, but
Oh,
I
okay.
love it. Yeah, that's my favorite song. I walked down the aisle to that song.
I will have to listen to that because I don't know that song. You said
Yeah,
Die.
so you Die With You, so you'll have to find it. I don't even think it's on YouTube. I know they have a version of it on Tidal.
Okay.
And then on YouTube, it's just like a bunch of other people trying to sing the song. It's not Beyonce.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not Beyonce.
Okay. All right. Cool. Anybody else have a Beyonce favorite?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like different ones for different reasons.
You can look at it as long as you don't grab it. I can't even start to sing it because y'all be like,
Are
wait.
you part of the Beehive, John? Huh? Are you part of the Beehive?
Nah, but I rock with B like
Yeah.
a mug. Sometimes I
Oh,
might
yeah.
be. Don't come for B, but I'm not
So
gonna tag nobody on Twitter.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate her genius and her business savvy. I
Mhm.
don't. I've always heard she was a nice person, so there's no reason to like dislike her. I've obviously never met her, or y'all would know. But I would not consider myself part of the Beehive. I don't really consider myself a fan of a lot of people, but I do admire their gift.
Mhm.
I would say
Mhm.
my favorite song by her is "Irreplaceable" because I like
I like that.
the instrument of the song.
Mm.
Okay,
To the left, to the
and
left.
that's it. So yeah, to the left, to the left. Okay. All right, that's it. Miss Lika, it's on you.
I will take a question.
How long
How
should I wait for a man to marry me? Like, how long does it take to realize if I'm being strung along or not?
Oh, I am the worst person to answer this question. I have never been anywhere near this scenario at all. Um, I really, I personally am of the opinion that when you know, you know.
Right.
And as two grown-ups, you should be able to talk about it. If you think you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not sure what he's thinking, a
Mm-hmm.
conversation could and should be had. And he may be waiting because he's working on something ultimately for the two of y'all. You don't know until he tells you. So I'm not one to put a length of time because we always read about, oh, they dated for 6 months and now they're happily married ever after. And then, oh, they dated for 6 years and they're happily married and then they get divorced 2 years later. Like, you know what I mean? So it really, when you know, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I feel like I agree with that. So when you know, um, then it shouldn't really take that long to at least have the conversation, like you said. But that conversation is necessary to find out if you guys are on the same page. I am of the mindset that I have stuff to do. So I would like for you to not waste my time. What are we doing here? And that usually comes like around, like a year in. What are we doing? And that doesn't mean I need a ring and we got to get married after a year. But I need to know, like, are we putting in another year or what's your plan? Because
Yeah, I
I
would like to see forward motion.
You
exactly.
know, I would Pador and I were together for almost 7 years before we actually got engaged. But at the same time, we were still like, I knew it was coming and we were comfortable in the relationship. So I didn't rush it. I just don't believe in that rushing people into something that they don't necessarily want to be in. Not not in my situation. That wasn't like my situation, but I think after, it was like 1 year we went to like 3 different weddings. I was like, okay, my boy. Yeah, what are we doing here? So no, but
Also be in a relationship with somebody and not be looking for marriage. Like you could get along, but if you're not on the same page or if married, like you are not going to marry that person, but you enjoy hanging out, then it is what it is. I think it's when like it sounds like the person wants to get married and she's wondering how long she should wait on that specific person.
it depends on how old she is.
Hmm.
If the
Okay.
older you get, the less patience you have with waiting on people. Like when women are getting older, like you think about you older, you know what you want and all of that. It's just not the same amount of patience that you have when you were in your 20s or even like early 30s. Over 40, I've seen those memes where they say, where they show women in wedding dresses talking about how women over 40 come to their first date. So, unless, of course,
Excuse me.
you're Don, then you are.
Then you are not interested. You're
That's
dumb.
not on the table.
I have no answer for it. If you know, you know. I'm with you,
Miss Lika the Diva.
Miss Lika.
Yes.
And you should know when you're getting strong along. Like if you don't get to go places,
Right.
when you the simple. This is when you know you're getting strong along. This is remedial. If you don't get a call on Valentine's Day, like what? You was locked up. Oh my God.
Oh, but you might be dating somebody who doesn't really do all of that. They don't really celebrate holidays.
I know. It's me. I'm me. I'm them. I'm that person. But sometimes when you get with a person, you kind of still want to like something. But you know, when somebody got something to do on that day, you're getting strong along, bro. I mean, because I didn't even celebrate it. But one time this guy called me like, dang, I didn't even call you yesterday. I was locked up. I'm like, we were so wrong. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm not the only one. That's what I knew. I didn't celebrate, but his side piece did.
Oh, okay. Would we like to move on now? I forget Sweetest Day every year, but I didn't.
Oh, I do too. I forget Sweetest Day like all the time.
It's not real. It's only in Chicago. Like seriously.
Well, I was like, what is that?
Oh yeah, like you wouldn't know what Sweetest Day is. It's a Midwest thing.
Is it? I knew I had never heard of it
Yeah.
before I got here, but I didn't know if it was something that just came about in like 2000s. You know, like there was a new holiday.
I think it was around a little before then. Someone actually commented, said if you think someone doesn't celebrate those holidays, I think if someone doesn't celebrate those holidays, they'd likely tell you early on. If he didn't, Don is right. He's playing you. So.
All right, whose turn is it?
It's Dawn B.
Dawn.
Oh, chub right now.
Huh? What'd you say?
I'm looking so fat. I gained some weight over these last few weeks.
See, that's why I'm not looking forward to Thanksgiving.
I'm like cracking my ankle. I can't even work out at nothing.
Oh man, what you been doing?
Remember I showed y'all my ankle and was bruised?
Oh,
and I tore 2 ligaments. It's still. I went to doctor today after a month, and I still. He's just like,
Oh,
put that brace on for another 4 weeks.
Mm.
But the only heels I can wear is Air Max wedges. They look like wedges. My heels. Sorry, guys. I'll take a personal question. I don't know. What is it? I think.
You cannot do this to me. Not a personal question. Okay.
So tired. Scenario.
A scenario. All right. Here we go. Ladies, I feel like I can no longer take being run into the ground anymore. I have vocalized the fact that I need help around the house and help with the taking care of our daughter. It has only continuously, I think it means to say, been met with pushback, gaslighting, and insults. I'm expecting baby number 2, and the thought of going through all of this again is just terrifying. All of this. What do you all do when you can't take this anymore? Leave, just stop doing things for your husband, cut off sex, etc. What works for them to see that you aren't a bleep doormat?
You're bad. Okay. You going for round 2. That's what you should have did that in the beginning. You are a doormat if you let it happen. You are a doormat. That's it. Okay, all right. Okay, let me be gentle. Because, I mean, thank God I had an involved husband. But when he did not, I just made it clear, like, I can't handle it. I'm going nuts. I'm going crazy. All right? Me and you had these babies. I'd never been a mother before. So therefore, I can't handle it. I just simply said it. Like, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I did it 10 months. It's over. Like, you got to be adamant. And yeah, just challenge him. Just challenge him. Take off a week of work and you be out. Once they see for real, what women actually do, goodness, they get respect. But you have to keep reminding him. It's not going to stay. Like, he's not going to remember for long. You got to keep showing him every 6 months a refresher course.
You do have to regularly communicate. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll go nuts. I have nothing.
So my suggestion to her would definitely be, because some men, I mean, it all starts from the beginning. She wasn't getting that help around the house before she had the baby, right? So it's like, if you don't want to help me, you're gonna have to give me some money to hire help.
That's it. And
I would definitely say, like, whatever help it is that, like, you need to hire a babysitter, and then she also needs to hire housekeeping. I'm not saying like every day, of course, but once a week, once every 2 weeks, hire help.
She needs to hire a boyfriend too. Because she says she gets met when she tells him. She says she gets met with what? Gaslighting, insults, and something else.
Yeah, I think that those things are a problem. I think that when you start doing all of that, that leads into emotional abuse. And if you continue to allow that to happen, that's going to really impact your self-esteem, and you're going to either go crazy or continue to put up with nonsense. You have to put your foot down. So whether that means you going to get counseling for yourself, because I don't know if somebody that's insulting his own wife is going to follow you to counseling, but you need some type of self-esteem, some type of encouragement, something to help you get back on track to stand up for what you are worth. You know what I mean? Like, not putting up with nonsense. That's not good for your children either.
It's not.
No, I forgot about that part. Definitely. Once you start accepting that type of stuff, it just gets worse. It does not get better, because people just start off with an inch and then they go a yard, and then before you know it, it's over. And at the end of the day, it really messes with your self-esteem. Not so much of like what he may be saying to her, but when she realizes what she put up with and what she allowed herself to go through, that's where it really messes you up.
Like, it messes you up when your husband is saying that to you, and you like,
yeah, that too. But really, like,
I know,
yeah, definitely that too. But like, once you realize, like, damn, I really let myself get to this point of
being a Lifetime movie,
disrespected.
Right.
I'm getting angry all over
what again. You say, being a Lifetime movie?
Like, damn, I'm about to be a Lifetime movie. Let me get out of here.
That's not what you want.
No, you don't. You start to feel, oh God.
Yeah.
I went through it, so I totally understand. I'm like, oh hell no, let me get up out of here.
Yeah. And I went through something like that in my 20s as well, and I was more upset with myself than I was with the person. Like, because I had all this confidence, and I was like, I wish I would ever. And then I was like, what happened to you to even allow this?
You don't know.
It was really
you be wrapped up in other stuff, like children. Living
your life. I had kids then.
Huh?
Oh, I didn't have kids then.
Oh.
Yeah, but I wish it would not, boy. No.
Yeah, boy. Boy, whatever they say.
It's not gonna happen. It's not. All
Period.
right.
Period. Period.
No.
All right, we have 5 minutes. I can take a question or personal truth. Let's do a personal truth. After high school, did your life go as planned?
Mm-hmm.
Well, after high school, it did. After college, it did not. Let's see. How did it not go as planned? I did. My plan was to, well, after I changed my major from engineering to psychology, my plan was to become a psychologist and have my own practice. And somehow, after I graduated from college, I got my first job as a teacher and I fell in love. And so I went back and got my master's in education. And I did have every intention of getting a doctorate in education, but I was blessed with my firstborn. And so that didn't happen. And years have passed, and now I've decided unless I can go for free, I'm not going back to school.
Well, you should have went because they've forgiven these student loans now. So,
but would they have
no, I'm
forgiven
just playing.
up now?
No, only 20K.
Oh, you mean back then? I needed to be able to
Oh,
see
yeah.
that they would have forgiven hundreds of thousands of dollars. But yeah, anybody else? Did life go as planned after high school?
Absolutely
You know
not.
what? Mine did.
It did.
It did.
Oh, good for you.
That's fantastic.
Because I did not have a plan.
I was going to say, I had.
So there you go.
The plan was to graduate
And go
from high school and go to college. And I did not have a major that I really wanted to do. And I dropped out of college and I went back and I just was like free, like whatever happens. I just don't want to be a loser or a bum. I want to be able to provide for myself. I just did not set super duper high goals for myself. So yeah.
All right. Well,
I would say it's going okay.
I think you're doing pretty well. Yeah. Anybody else? You said no, Lika, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, absolutely not. So I did get into the college of my dreams. I did study. I studied music. I was an aspiring performer. And then 2 years into my schooling, I stopped performing. I changed my major to music business. I stopped performing almost altogether. And it didn't dawn on me till a few years later when I was very unhappy and didn't really understand why, that it was because I was missing my creative outlet. And so 2004, I accidentally found myself being asked to sing backgrounds with the band. I had dropped out of school and was finding my way and started singing background vocals while I was working at the music school that I attended. And then I stayed there. Well, I sang for about 4 years. Then things kind of just fizzled. And I found a new creative outlet, which is my beauty career. So life just took a lot of pivots and turns for me. I can't say that I'm mad at anything that happened. It just was scary in the transitions because I didn't know what was happening or where I was going. But yeah, my life did not in any way turn out the way I envisioned it for myself. You know, my little 17-year-old brain knew what I was going to do for the rest of my life. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don, you off quiet.
Yeah, I was straight. So if they changed the question to did life go as planned after marriage, then I got it.
Wait, the question was changed to did life go as planned after marriage? What was your answer? I missed it.
Hell no.
Oh.
I would have still been married, deep into dope career. But I got married. No, I mean after high school, my life went as planned. I like LaTanya, like I really didn't have a plan, but I knew I was going to college. I told because my 8th grade teacher used to be like, "What are you guys gonna do?" It's just I was a little group of us, Miss Smith, and I told Miss Smith, "I'm gonna do the traditional thing, like go to college, but eventually you're gonna see my name on marquee in the paper, I'm gonna be on TV, blah blah blah."
Okay.
And I did that, and I was doing that.
Flyers.
Hmm?
Do you send her flyers or links now?
Oh no, she knows. Well, not now because this is after marriage and I'm just getting back on the scene. But before I got married, I was a pretty big deal. I was well on my way to greatness, and then I decided to get married and then pause myself for a second. So right now I'm just getting myself back to feeling myself, and I'm still funny, and shit, this is life after the pandemic. I got back to America when the pandemic hit, which was like,
right.
That was terrifying. Like, okay, wait, what am I gonna do? Divorced, homeless, but life is good. I wasn't homeless, but I wasn't. Anyway, that's a different story for another. We need more minutes than one.
Got it.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, I'm sorry.
Good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you really think about it, after high school, a lot of teens have a lot of plans, and I think it's good that they know like things may not go the way you plan. At 17 years old, I think that's a lot that we put on a teenager to figure out what they're going to do for the rest of their life at the age of 17. They go from basically needing us for almost everything to being out there on their own, like basically the next day. It's like one day you have to ask for everything, and then the next day you just like free.
Yeah,
it's okay. Life does not always go that way.
It won't. That's why I don't do them. My kids are 9 and 6. I don't even say, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" I did that one time, and when I asked them, I was like, "Do you know at 6?" I mean, and even my oldest told me, like, "Mommy, I think I'm gonna need a little more time to think about it." I was like, "You got it, buddy. Just work hard. That's it."
No, Peyton wants to be a YouTuber. I'm like, but then he's into Lego, so he said engineer.
Like he said
that? Yeah.
Okay. I do have
into that type of stuff, like,
huh?
Sorry, I said I've heard 4 or 5 different things, so I'm just letting them figure it out. Just go hard on all of them. They made a YouTube channel. They wanted to be YouTubers too. They made a channel. I said, whatever you want to do, learn how to do it, and I'll totally support you.
Mm-hmm.
You get YouTube stuff up and running. I'll get you tripods, the computer, the camera, whatever you need. Now I got to get a camera.
Look,
they got 3 followers.
Yeah, I asked
my nephew is on here. He started his YouTube channel and he's pretty good.
How old is he?
He is 14.
Oh, okay.
So he's been doing it for a few years now.
Okay. All right. Well, look, ladies, our hour is up. I appreciate the conversation. We have a show next week. Our boss chick is going to be Camille Hicks, Esquire. And our spotlight, I think it's on money. Oh my goodness, I'm still recovering from last weekend. I had a blast. I think our spotlight is on money, but I don't, because I know it's not health, and you're here. She came all the time. She came 3 times. Well, she was scheduled 3 times, but it might be education. I am so sorry, but there will be a spotlight. There will be a box chick, and there will be a girl talk panel to go over these relationship questions. We still have a lot to get through before the end of the season, but this is episode 8, which means we have 2 more episodes. So if you know a boss chick, or if you are a boss chick, now is the time to let me know that you would like to be a part of season 7. All right, guys. Thank you. And I'm supposed to say that this is Aisha isReal, your laid back, down to earth life coach. And I want you to know and embrace true love because you're worth it. Have a blessed week. Good evening.